let's talk about Fast and the Furious 8.
All
So,
right.
guys, I
So
think this
this
was
one,
this one was, I think, the first one of the newer ones that I had watched.
okay.
Really?
Yeah,
This
because
one
I
was
had missed
directed
out
by
on.
F. I just want to say this one was directed by F. Gary Grace, the guy that directed like movies like Friday. I think he also
Mm.
directed the Italian Job, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
Rob?
I'm not sure. Why are you so
Oh,
mad at him,
sorry.
dog? Why are you swearing at him? What's going on? What did he
What?
do to you?
Who? F.
You
Gary
just
Gray.
said if, then the guy's name. Like, what are you saying if
That's his
him, bro?
name. That's his name.
Ah, yeah. Where's
But
my
anyway,
glasses?
so
Yeah.
so
That's a TED joke for those who don't know. It's a TED joke.
he did Friday, he did Set It Off, The
Oh, nice.
Negotiator,
Nice.
The Italian Job, Be Cool, The Law Abiding Citizen, Straight Out of Compton, The Fate of the Furious. He also directed film music videos like It Was a Good Day by Ice Cube, Natural Born Killers by Dr. Dre,
Mm.
Oh.
Miss Jackson by Outkast, and Waterfalls TLC.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, okay, I know this guy. Yes.
I think
I
he's
know.
the second film director that is black, I think, because the first one was John Singleton, Too Fast, Too Furious, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, Singleton was first. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. And then in terms of box office, The Fate of the Furious had a
Ah.
budget of between 250 to 270 million and
Mhm.
made 1 billion. I don't know, I don't know how to read this. Wait,
Listen properly.
Listen properly. 1.236 billion at the box office.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hey,
Kanjani.
Kutsu, remember we were talking about directors, eh? This is one of those guys where it's up and down. We were talking about, for those who don't know,
Yeah.
last week we were talking about directors. Like, I almost want to say this man has fallen off. I mean, geez.
Yeah, look, I think I don't really see F. Gary Gray as a action film director. For me, I see him as a
Yeah?
like Chris Nolan, and I think you and I have spoken
Yes.
about this before. I think we've spoken about this before.
Hmm.
There's a difference between Michael Bay and Christopher Nolan.
Yes.
When you give Christopher Nolan action with explosions and whatever, you have to be very careful. If you have a scene where the Joker is bombing a hospital, that's
Mhm.
fine.
Yeah.
But when you have like characters walking and then there's an explosion in the background in a Christopher Nolan movie, that doesn't make sense. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So I
Only
feel like F. Gary
Bay
Grant.
No, but the thing is, right? Like, if you look at Christopher Nolan, it's like he's a smart Michael Bay.
I was getting there. F. Gary Gray for me. He is not the Fast and Furious type of director. He's not a Michael Bay director.
Yeah, oh,
Right.
Michael Bay would have killed it with this franchise. Oof.
Oh,
He
yeah.
would have, yeah. For
But
me, I
now-
feel like F. Gary Gray is more on a lone Nolan, but not exactly on the same level as Nolan. It's like he's like a merge between Spike Lee and Christopher Nolan.
Okay, but
That's
here's
how
the
I put
problem.
it.
Here's the problem, though. You just mentioned Christopher Nolan. He has a style. Michael Bay, like him or hate him, I don't actually hate him, but he has a style. There's a style to him. It's got big weaknesses, and that's the thing people notice about him. But now, what can you say when you jump from Law Abiding Citizen
Yes.
to Fate of the Furious
Yeah.
to Men in Black International?
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean?
You see, but Men in Black International is also like this. It's ridiculous in itself. So my thing is John Singleton, Spike Lee, F. Gary Gray. For me, they belong in the same category. But I don't know why F. Gary Gray is doing these big projects, like Straight Out of Compton and Fate of the
that's a
Furious. That
brilliant
doesn't
movie.
make sense.
Yeah.
And
A lot of these-
oh, by the way, and Anton Fuqua. Anton Fuqua is another director that I'd also put in
Wait,
that
F.
same
Gary Gray
category.
did Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah.
Yes. And Law Abiding
Wow.
Citizen. I mean, those. Oh my God, dude.
And Friday,
It's called
bro.
money, guys. It's called money.
Yeah, but now is it the negotiator is
got
a
a
good
contract
movie?
to pay
Set It
for.
Off is
No,
a good
you
movie.
see, here's the
Style.
thing. As
He's got
Zuko
a
was
contract
saying,
to pay for,
but, like,
and he's
the
also got
thing
the
is,
summer home that he
Hollywood-
needs to pay for, and the vacation home he needs to pay for, and he has to pay for his school's kids, and he also has to pay for
Tuition, Baba.
tuition.
And I'm saying, look, like
guys.
Hollywood is all about optics. Like, it was so nice of them to say that the Fast and Furious has a black director because they haven't had one since Singleton. Like that was
Yeah.
that was one of their selling points. I'm sure. Like that's what they do all the time. Like they'd be like, "Oh, we've got this woman black-led project thing," and like Fast and the Furious, as weird as it is, it's kind of like the only superhero franchise with like brown and black leading characters.
Yes.
See, that's another reason. That's why
And
I'll
I
never
think
be
this is-
mad at yeah. I'll never be
This-
mad at the Fast and the Furious because it is Black Avengers. You know what I mean? It,
Yeah.
In fact, it even has a white Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Thingamajiggy. So
Mr.
it's
Nobody,
literally
yeah.
Black
Mr. Nobody.
Avengers. Yeah,
But
exactly.
also,
So
I also
yeah.
wanted to say that. Oh, by the way, for people that don't know, I think he even played Nick Fury before Samuel L. Jackson played Nick Fury, right?
yeah, but he did actually.
nah,
Yes,
you're
yes,
thinking
you're
of
literally
Hasselhoff.
right. Yes.
Or was it? Or was it Hasselhoff?
Yeah,
Oh,
what
you're
he
right.
did was Pliskin. He did Pliskin, Snake Pliskin.
Yeah, he
Oh.
did plus. Oh,
Oh, it's because of
Yes.
the eye patch.
Oh,
yeah.
I
Yes.
love Snake Plissken.
Yeah. Okay.
but now here's my question, guys.
All right.
See, but now here's the thing. I feel like if you gave Christopher Nolan small money, he could still make a good movie. Like again, Terminator 1 by what's his name? James Cameron was supposed to be a low budget movie. It was supposed to be SCBC 1,
Yes.
but he turned it into Terminator. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So you get good directors that can turn
Just
garbage
like Star
into
Wars. George
Yes.
Lucas had a shoestring budget for that movie.
and no
Yeah.
faith. They had no faith in him. They were like, yeah, you can have merchandising right. That's fine.
Right.
So like, what does that tell you about like a good director can make a good thing out of something terrible? Like, and
But
then
here's
some
the
of
thing.
these,
Here's the
Yeah.
thing, Rob. The directors that you mentioned, their intention was not to make big films. That's why they were big, right?
yeah,
That's why I feel like when you give Christopher Nolan way too much money and you give him a concept that could still work with a shoestring budget, that's when
Mhm.
you have stuff like Tenet happening.
I was
You know
okay.
what
I
I'm
thought you were gonna say Oppenheimer.
The
like,
Backwards
No.
Boys. The
There's
Backwards
stuff like
Boys.
Tenet. Oppenheimer makes sense even with the big budget, but in itself, it still could have been a low budget film and it still would have worked. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like that's the concepts but themselves make sense whether you have a shoestring or not, just like Tarantino.
No, I mean another
Yeah.
one is Dunkirk.
But then
like,
what's
that
Gary
one
Gray's problem?
was-
Huh?
I'm
What?
saying another one was like Dunkirk or whatever the
Yes,
case was.
yes.
It was like
But
yeah.
then 100%. But then look at David Fincher. Panic Room. Now
Yes.
that is a shoestring budget.
I mean,
That
it's
was
like
20 cents in my back pocket.
a whole
budget.
house. That's the entire movie is in a
Yeah.
is in a house.
In a
man.
house.
That's
But
it.
it has so many twists and turns.
Yes.
And that's a good director.
No,
So
I'm
then-
saying I think the thing is with F. Gary Gray, I just think
Mhm.
like those guys, they kind of used to doing like smaller independent projects or whatever. And the
Mhm.
thing is when you're a director stepping into a franchise and you're not a franchise
Mm.
director,
Right.
you're gonna run into issues where because like even if you told me that F. Gary Gray did this movie, it doesn't look stylistically different or anything from the other Fast and the Furious movies.
Yes, I agree
If you
with
told
you.
if you told me that it came off of an assembly line, that they were like, okay, you gotta hear family, explosion.
Yeah.
You punch a bad guy over here. Everybody gets an upgrade in powers. We shoot. Family. A car drives. Family. A car blocks fire.
Yeah,
Some
I
more
want to say
family.
something,
Yeah.
Rob.
And my rebuttal to that, wait, before you say that,
Okay.
my rebuttal to that is David Fincher again, because my favorite director, Alien 3. He was, you know, they were at his neck for everything, right? It's a movie he disavows. It's still
Yes,
a good
he
movie.
doesn't like talking
Yeah.
about it.
But it's still
Yeah.
a good movie. If you actually watch it, it's still got some actual interesting filmmaking in it. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But I wanted to say
Yeah.
that this was the movie that Justin Lin didn't direct after he
Yes.
left, I think, right?
Mhm.
And if you look at Justin Lin's involvement from Tokyo Drift, because he did Tokyo Drift, I think he did 4, 5, 6 or something. No, James Wan did one of them. I think we
Yes,
spoke about
yes.
it last time.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
apart from James Wan, all the movies that Justin Lin did
Mhm.
are some of the best movies in this entire franchise.
Yes. So,
So,
you can make something good out of
Justin
something
Lin
bad.
is the
And
best
also he
director for this
understands the
franchise.
concept. He understands the concept. He understands what's needed. He understands
100%.
Yeah.
which
Yes.
notes to hit. So when
Yes,
someone else,
just like with Avengers, you know the Russo brothers should handle it. You know what I mean? Like, you know those guys should handle it.
Yeah.
Or Joss Whedon or the Russo brothers.
But it took
That's
Tony Stark to tell them that. Do you know what I mean? Remember,
Right.
the only reason they're there is because Downey Jr. said no, they must be there, not because Feige said so, which is crazy.
Right.
But yeah, moving on
Yeah,
to
anyway.
Fate
No,
of the
but
Furious.
Zuko, I think you had a very good point right there. I think I cut you off. I apologize. Please repeat what you just said, bro. That is so profound.
What did I say again?
About Justin Lin knowing what the franchise needs
Yeah,
and
yes,
stuff like
yes,
that.
Oh,
yes.
yeah. It's just it's understanding what the movie is. So
Right.
sometimes, especially as you say, when you have a particular set of skills and then you try to apply it to something different, it doesn't. You are also out of your element. So you also kind of just go with so when the producer says no, do it this way, and you just do it because you don't understand what the hell is going on.
Right.
And maybe you don't also have the creative control that you used to having. So you kind of just go with the flow and you just do a movie and you're like, hey man, it's a paycheck, shapa, I cannot stress. But with Justin, because I think he did it from the first movie.
Well, yeah.
I think he was involved from the first movie, so stylistically he understands it.
Right.
He understands the characters, he understands their motivations and everything. So he knows this thing inside and out. So he can do little tweaks, little stuff. So for like F. Gary Gray, the little tweaks that he needed to just, instead of just to make it to turn a 5 into a 6, to turn a 3 into a 7, he doesn't know how to do those little tricks because it's not really. It's firstly, it's not his wagon wheel, and then two, he doesn't have the what's the word? The investment into it.
Yeah. And
Yes,
also, like, I'll give Justin Lin this. He kind of knows how to keep it moving.
Yeah.
Like, I think when you
100%.
watch his Fast and the Furious movies, right? As
pacing.
much as the stupid stuff is happening, they don't really like try to sit with it and spend time. And then we get to these later movies, and I think they try to spend time with the characters, and it's just like, this is not that franchise, guys.
Exactly. So this is now
Yeah.
not understanding your franchise. This is now, no, but guys, we need a little depth. Like the Justin Lin movie had depth. It's just that they didn't sit.
Yeah.
We enjoyed them.
These emotional beats are exposing their acting chops, eh?
Exactly.
No, it's not
these
even just
emotional beats
exposing
that
the
are
acting.
dragging.
It's not even the acting chops, bro. It's just like, bro, I just saw you fly over the freeway and catch somebody with your body and land, and your shirt was clean. Like, I just saw you judo flip a car over
T-shirt
a
is still white.
missile. I just saw you judo flip
Like
a
you took
car
down a
over a
tank.
missile.
You took
No,
down a
at one
tank.
point, right? We'll get into it. But no, actually, yeah, in this movie, at one point, right? Basically, The Rock, as I said before, he redirects a missile into another car. Like, the missile was coming for his car, and he was just like, I'm gonna protect, get out of here. And the rocket was like, hey. It blew up another car. And it was just like, but
Didn't they like save Vin Diesel by like circling around him from like an explosion or something?
No, what happened is Vin Diesel jumps, right, to block a missile with his car. And then they all drive up at the car and the flames just run away because there's the Fast and the Furious people.
I think someone saw that and it's like, I'm gonna make a movie called Twister, but with tornadoes instead of the fire. But anyway,
no, it's like the cars were like boo, and the fire was like ah.
But I also want to add one more thing to Zuko's thing. I think you're right. It can be it doesn't have to be producer interruptions as well. It can sometimes just be it's just not your thing. A la M. Night Shyamalan with The Last Airbender. I think we all can. That's the perfect.
Rob,
that one, no one told him no. Everyone said yes, and he produced a disaster.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's like Snyder and Rebel Moon.
That is one of my personal Vietnams.
But also, I just want to say something. Also, like for instance, Bryan Singer and the X-Men, right? There was something that he understood about the X-Men. But I'll say this, and I've said it before, but nobody could hear me at the time. Bryan Singer is good at doing X-Men sequels. The first sequel that he makes, not the second. Like, let me give you an example. X2 is better than X1. Days of Future Past is better than X-Men First Class, even though X-Men First Class is my favorite film. But when he does his own sequel from his initial one, like when he did a sequel to Days of Future Past, which is Apocalypse, I don't know what the hell happened.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
maybe they gave him too much creative freedom. But the last thing I just want to say before we give our ratings, I think Justin Lin and Diesel was starting to have creative differences, and you could clearly see because he left. F. Gary Gray came in, and then there was another director that came in at Fast 9, and it was just not the same anymore.
Oh yeah.
So you can tell that after Justin Lin left, there was something wrong there.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's give our
And
ratings.
also, what
James.
is up with actors and always getting into fights and stuff? Like, yo, guys, usem like, just do your job.
And also, what is it with this movie and fireproof cars? Like, I feel like every car here was made by Johnny Storm of the Fantastic Four, because like at one point in the beginning, right? Like even the guy who's racing Vin Diesel, Dom Toretto, even the guy who's racing him is like, that's impossible. Like he literally says that out loud. Because you know how Dom wins the race? His car is on fire. Mind you, his car is on fire, and he's inside like, oof, this is a
I
little
do
bit
want the
hot.
Cuba part, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is a little bit hot. Ooh, like maybe I should open up a window. He shuffles the car in reverse and starts reversing faster than the other guy can drive. And the flames, by the way, they go that way.
Yeah, definitely. But I
They
also
go
want to add
away
on.
from him. And I was just like, yo, there was like a theme with fire, because like even like cars were blocking fire in this movie. I was like, hi, okay.
But also, like this thing is so like Dragon Ball Z. First of all, like all his enemies become his friends at the end of the day. And then the second thing is, guys, even when Dom turns evil, none of you guys can stop him. Go, Kudiman. Like, what's going on?
That's just what he is. But I want to add on to what
that scene where they circled around him and they tried to trap him, and somehow he managed to escape.
Yeah.
Because
Steering,
it's
Baba.
Toretto, dog. Steering.
But I just want to add on to what Zuko said. Like what you said is 100% true about how actors seem to like lose control. It's because you have to remember something. They earn a lot. Once these movies become successful, they earn a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
And then they become executive producers in the movie.
Yes.
So now they have shares in the next movie.
Yes.
So I think, again, a good example of it being successful is Saw and Mission Impossible.
Yes.
Tom Cruise, obviously, and the guy who plays Saw, they know who Saw is better than anyone else. So it becomes a positive push. But now with Vin Diesel, and it's documented, this nigga went crazy. After like the fourth movie, even the fifth movie, he pure ego.
Because I think he started becoming an executive producer after from the fourth again, because
I believe so, yes.
Because the deal was he would make a cameo in Tokyo Drift at the end, provided that they make him executive producer or whatever in the fourth one. Yeah.
No, and I'm saying like, and the thing is also like, we get to this movie, they try to put in a plot about Dom and this baby, and I'm just like, bro, I don't buy this. I don't. Like, I don't think
and
the
that's
baby
another
is
thing
in
you were
danger.
talking about, but there's always a new character popping up. Like now there's a baby. Like, why just make Letty pregnant?
Guys, we're gonna talk about that. That's quite that's some controversial casting right there, especially in Fast X. Like, what happened to your skin, Chief?
Hey, hey, sunshine.
Like Letty is right there. Make Letty pregnant. Make the kid. There was no need to bring back Miss Brazilian supermodel.
There's too much testosterone to make that
Thor's wife. Yeah, but anyway.
Anyway, moving on.
Okay.
What's your rating? What's your rating, Buck?
This one for me, I'm gonna give it like a 4.
Jeez. Okay, Zooks.
Damn. This one, what, did I like anything here?
This is when Cypher was kissing Dom in front of Letty, right?
Yeah. Are you gonna turn your back on family? And Dom literally says, "Here's my literal back."
Guys, I have to go. Something just came.
Yes, sir.
Oh shit.
But I'll give this so just quick 5, 6, and 7 just because of Jason Momoa.
5, 6, and
you
7.
really think that thingamajiggy is better? 9 is better than 5. Than 8. That's interesting.
No, it's just because of Jason Momoa.
No, I'm saying Fast and the Furious 8 is, I think, way better than 9.
Yeah, 9 is the way and I'll tell you the mistake they made, but we'll get there.
Oh wait, 9 is the way they're in space, ne?
Yes, that's the one in space.
Give that a 4.
There we go. There we go. That makes sense.
Okay,
Hence
Sha,
the
guys.
Fire Lord himself.
Actually, now that I remember, I'm
has
gonna
to
give
go
this a
fight
5. I'll change
Azula.
my.
He has to go fight Azula again. So thanks
Yep.
thanks for coming through, Zeus.
Round 7,000.
Okay,
Sure, my man.
Sha.
Sharp.
Sure. And we spent a lot of time on Fast and the Furious 8, I think.
No.
Gents,
Yeah, no,
No,
it was
here's what we did.
definitely
We went on a
definitely not that good.
tangent. We didn't
Mm.
describe the movie at all. In actual, if you actually pay attention, we didn't describe
Yeah.
the movie at all. Not a single scene until
Because
now.
we had issues with it, dog. We had
Yeah.
issues with it.
Yeah, we went on a tangent. It was hilarious.
Mark
Yes,
West
sir.
is the only one actually that mentioned a few things in the film.
Yes.
But yeah.
Only.
I think I just want to say, for me, I didn't like Cypher from the, like, for me, Cypher is just like a bad concept. Just, for me, she just doesn't work in this franchise. She just doesn't work. But I guess Vin Diesel was just fascinated by getting, and I think I spoke to Rob about this before, getting people from the Italian Job to be in this movie, get the director of the Italian Job to come in this movie, because F. Gary Gray directed the Italian Job. Okay, by the Italian Job, I'm not talking about the original Michael Caine one. I'm talking about the one with Mark Wahlberg
Edward
that came out
Norton.
in 2004, the Mini Cooper advert movie.
Yeah.
Yes. So
And it
you
sold
have
Mini Coopers, man.
you have handsome Rob coming in. Now he's Deckard Shaw. You have Charlize Theron coming in. Now she's Cypher, and it just doesn't work. But I remember around the same time, that's when Transformers was also turning Optimus into a villain as well.
Yeah.
So there was a whole thing.
No,
this
well, remember, like it was also the year of Civil War and Batman versus Superman. So it
Yes.
was a bunch of heroes must fight stuff going on.
Right.
And these things are written by ChatGPT, so yeah. So
some of them worked, some of them didn't. For me, this didn't work. But I did like the whole thing of seeing the team work without Dom. I don't think that. I think this is where Brian should have been the one to actually.
I think they needed to recast. Like I know we spoke about this before, but they really need to.
But which actor do you think would have been able to carry that weight in this movie where Brian?
Well, I mean, look, all respects to Paul Walker. I do think that in a lot of ways he was the heart of the franchise. But I'm saying if they took his brother, or if they even took what's the Eastwood boy? Eastwood boy, he's older than me. The Eastwood man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Eastwood. Yeah.
If they put Scott Eastwood as Brian, and do you think people would be? I don't think people would be upset.
No, but remember, Scott was introduced when Brian was still in what, 7?
Yeah, as
Not
Mr.
really.
Nobody's son. I know. I think it was. He was introduced in 8. I think.
He was introduced in 7 because remember. The moment where they were meeting Mr. Nobody in his warehouse or whatever, Scott Eastwood was there. Where Roman was saying that he wants to be the leader now, and then Dom was like, "Okay,
that's not Scott Eastwood. That's not Scott Eastwood.
Who's that?
It's somebody else. You're thinking of somebody else.
Okay, you guys can correct me, but I honestly think he was in Fast and Furious 7.
But I can't imagine someone doing that. But at the same time,
was it him?
Nah, that just says in general. Doesn't actually say 7 specifically.
No,
maybe just go Fast and Furious 7 cast.
Yeah, go into the Fast and Furious cast. Yeah, like you said.
FF7 cast.
Yeah.
Okay, go to all. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that
took a turn. Yo, and it is Final Fantasy. Oh, that goes to show which one is bigger. Now we know.
Yeah, just say Fast 7.
Cody Walker.
No, he's the one that did the finals, that final scene.
No, but I'm saying if they took him and they put him as Brian.
Yeah, he does look like him. Just if you combine him with Zac Efron, then
you just don't know about his acting chops. But yeah.
True.
Who was acting in this franchise?
I think Caleb Walker might be better. Yo, look at Lucas Black's forehead, dog. That is mega mind, dog.
Okay, let's not be roasting this guy.
No, he could easily be the leader in the new Captain America movie.
Oh yeah, T-Pain was the DJ in this, of course. Michael Jai White was in this? What did he do? Samuel Jackson? When?
Okay, so clearly
this cannot
be right. Just go to Wiki, bro. Let's see the cast from there. Because this is not helping.
Wait,
Was he a voice actor?
like dog?
He
What
was
is that
Samuel L.
guy?
Jackson.
What?
No way.
Oh, they have their own wiki. Wow.
Hey, dog, what's it?
Bro, now there's a whole wiki for everything now.
At least
honestly.
$5 billion. There's no way they don't. It's got to be $5 billion of profit at this point.
Okay. Come on now. Website stop.
Yeah,
project.
principal cast.
Yeah,
That's principal cast. The 3.2.
I think you need supporting, not. That's fine. It's
supporting.
there.
Yeah.
No, it's there already, so it's fine.
Okay. So no, he's not on this list.
I don't think he's there, bro.
No, I'm telling you, he's not there. They didn't introduce him in 7.
What? Wait, just go to.
I'll
to
just
the other one.
I'll
Wait,
just see if I
after
can.
supporting cast, what's the other
Just
one? After
Kutso being
supporting-
racist, dog. He saw a white guy was like, they're all the same.
Oh no!
Wow.
Look, I'm running a search, Chief. I'm running a search on the
Don't
thing.
say
It's not-
Clint.
he's not
You gotta
here.
say Scott Eastwood, not Clint
Oh,
Eastwood.
Wait, why am I saying? Why am I saying? I'm
I'm surrounded by racism. No.
Wow, I genuinely thought. I genuinely thought it was
he's
the same
not. He's not
character
in
from-
here.
So who was that guy then?
I don't know. He was just a
I don't know
random.
who you're thinking of.
No, who he was is just a random dude that
Yeah.
could get shown up by the crew because like he's military personnel, but the Fast and the Furious crew they think outside the box.
Yes.
That's all he
Yeah.
was.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time, so
Fair enough.
because
And then they like and then at the end of the scene, what's this? Roman tries to pretend like he knew what he was doing. It's like, dog, you did not know what you were doing.
okay, so I think going back to your Scott Eastwood comment, then I think it would have worked, but I think they were still testing the waters in 8 by introducing him, because in 10 he's there for like the first act and then he just disappears.
Yeah.
Disappeared. But
Yeah, he vanishes after the first act. Yeah.
I'm saying the thing is, like, you get to start seeing that a lot of this stuff is kind of falling apart at the seams, because I personally feel like if Justin Lin was still there, he would have said, okay, we need to recast Brian here because we can't keep having a situation where his family is showing up and he's not there. Like, I feel like Justin.
Gray.
I
No,
think they should
Justin
have killed
Lin.
him.
I'm saying Justin Lin. I think. No, I'm gonna tell you now that if they did, people would be like they wouldn't buy it, because at this point in the franchise, so many people have been killed off in ways that like it's supposed to be permanent, only for them to. We're gonna get to Fast and Furious 9, but even in 8, like some people, some characters like the things that they survived. You're just like, oh, if you kill off, if you kill off Brian, how would you be able to explain any of these other situations? You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but now here's my thing. Everyone is dying. Why is Brian still in bed? Why? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, but that's why I'm saying they need to recast, because Brian needs to be active.
Yeah.
Like his wife can't be out there fighting full-on grown men and he's nowhere to be
and
seen.
he's babysitting.
No.
Makes no sense.
But the
Makes
thing
no
is, I
sense.
think Vin Diesel, the actor, would have been unhappy. I think because remember he's already wiling out, and they used to be best friends. And he's like, I'm making these sequels for him.
I don't think they were best friends, but I hear
I think they could have I'm saying he's wiling out at this point, yes. But I'm just saying that if they managed to, just saying he could have
they
been
managed to
talked
calm
around
him
to
down,
it.
then maybe.
Yeah.
the Cody idea is a good idea, though. I think it would have worked. I don't know about his acting chops, but I think it would have worked.
And also, yeah, he's like his brother. He's Brian, and he can just be like, my brother wanted this. I'm sure.
Yeah,
Vin
and he
Diesel would have
acted out the last
capitulated.
scene. Like nobody complained about his acting there.
I don't know. I think if you were to get a real actor, this is okay. Who would you get if you could workshop a real actor, not someone's brother who has no acting experience, but a real
I
actor?
already told you guys who I think would have been great, but
Who? Scott Eastwood?
no, not Scott
No,
Eastwood.
not Scott Eastwood. It
I
was
think
somebody
I told you
else.
guys last time. He was Kevin in what's that series again? Shameless. Do you know the movie? Is it Day Night with where he's a vampire killer?
Daywalker, whatever it's called. Night shift or day
Night
shift.
Shift. You know Scott East can't remember this guy. Scott Atkins' brother in there. You know Scott Atkins, right?
The martial arts dude.
The martial arts dude. He had a brother
yes.
He had a brother in that movie. That's the guy I'm saying he should have played Brian, or at least maybe Brian's brother or something. But anyway.
Yeah, but
It's
anyway.
a tough one.
What's our you? Who would you have gotten?
Me, I don't know. Oof.
Because the
I
thing
mean,
is,
there was a time where Hayden Christensen and Paul Walker kind of sort of looked the same. In
it's
Takers,
not just about looking the same. It's about atmosphere, bro.
No,
Like,
but I'm saying
what-
I think Hayden Christensen could have done it at that time.
yeah.
I think if you could get a skinny Channing Tatum, that would have been cool.
Mm.
I don't see Channing Tatum. Like even with the Gambit thing, I don't see him as Gambit. Like he's too big for Gambit.
Yeah, well, anyway.
What?
Dude,
I love
Gambit is
him.
Gambit is
That
skinny,
Cajun
bro.
accent
Okay,
is
gents, I know
fire.
this is not Africa's Next, but Kai.
Sorry, bro.
Okay, so Mr. X, what's your rating?
6.
All right, and then Mr. Robos.
I'm actually gonna give it a 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I actually wanted to give it a 7 as well, to be
Because
honest.
as much as I don't like this movie, there are some the airplane flight scene was actually kind of fantastic. There were some individual scenes that, although silly, I can imagine they were just fantastic on the big screen. So I'm gonna give it a 7.
This
Mostly
was
just
if we're being honest, this was the Rock's movie though. It was not necessarily Vin Diesel's movie.
oh yeah.
Well, he's the hero, quote unquote, but like they both get to do extra ridiculous nonsense.
Yes.
Yeah. But he took Dom's role in this movie.
Oh yeah.
It seems like that was like the compromise. Okay, we have beef. You be the lead then. I'll be the villain. It's fine. You
But
know?
I'll be the villain that saves the day
I'll
because
save the day at
basically
the
Vin
end,
Diesel
yeah.
saves the
Because it's
day.
my
Yeah.
movie, nigga.
Of course. I'm giving it a 7 so I can give the next one a lower number.
Oh my god.
Ooh.